This sign mean? A. Slow down and yield to oncoming traffic. B. Come to a complete stop before the pedestrian crosswalk. C. Proceed cautiously without stopping if no one is around. D. Stop only if a pedestrian is crossing. Answer, B. A stop sign mandates a complete stop at the marked line or before the pedestrian crosswalk if unmarked. Proceed only when the way is clear. This sign instructs drivers to A. Come to a full stop at all times. B. Slow down and give way to other vehicles or pedestrians. C. Proceed quickly to avoid delaying traffic. D. Always merge into traffic immediately. Answer, B. A yield sign requires drivers to slow down and give the right-of-way to vehicles and pedestrians already in the intersection. When encountering this sign, you must A. Enter cautiously if the road is clear. B. Stop and turn around to avoid entering. C. Ignore the sign during emergencies. D. Park and check traffic before proceeding. Answer, B. A do not enter sign indicates restricted access to a roadway. Entering is illegal and unsafe. A diamond-shaped yellow sign typically warns drivers of A. Regulatory laws and rules. B. Conditions or hazards ahead. C. Available services. D. Parking restrictions. Answer, B. Diamond-shaped signs are used to warn drivers about road hazards or changes in conditions. This sign requires drivers to A. Yield only if children are visible. B. Slow down and stop for pedestrians. C. Ignore unless a crossing guard is present. D. Drive carefully without changing speed. Answer, B. School crossing signs warn of areas with children. Drivers must slow down and stop if children are present or crossing. When approaching a railroad crossing with flashing lights, you should A. Stop only if a train is visible. B. Stop and proceed only when lights stop flashing. C. Accelerate to cross before the train arrives. D. Ignore the lights if no gate is present. Answer, B. Flashing lights indicate an approaching train, and vehicles must stop until the train has passed and the lights have ceased flashing. What does this sign mean? A. A temporary detour ahead. B. The direction traffic must pass. C. Stop sign ahead. D. Speed limits are no longer enforced. Answer, C. Slow down, a stop sign is ahead and be prepared to stop. Drivers must yield to emergency vehicles. A. Only when they are in the same lane. B. By pulling over to the right and stopping. C. By slowing down but continuing in their lane. D. Only at intersections with stop signs. Answer, B. Drivers must pull over to the right and stop until the emergency vehicle has passed. When entering a multi-lane highway from a private road, you must A. Enter quickly without stopping. B. Yield to all traffic and merge safely. C. Use the shoulder until a gap appears. D. Take the lane closest to the shoulder immediately. Answer, B. Vehicles entering a public roadway must yield to traffic already on the highway. Speeding in a construction zone with workers present results in A. A warning only. B. Normal speeding fines. C. Doubled fines. D. License suspension. Answer, C. Speeding fines are doubled in construction zones when workers or equipment are present. A flashing yellow traffic light means A. Slow down and proceed with caution. B. Stop completely before proceeding. C. Accelerate to avoid delays. D. Yield only if traffic is present. Answer, A. Flashing yellow lights warn drivers to slow down and proceed cautiously through intersections. When turning left on a flashing yellow arrow, you must A. Turn immediately before traffic arrives. B. Yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. C. Stop completely and wait for a green arrow. D. Use the same rules as a red arrow. Answer, B. A flashing yellow arrow allows a left turn but requires yielding to oncoming traffic. Parking in a space marked for disabled individuals requires A. No special permission if the space is empty. B. A valid disabled placard or license plate. C. Permission from law enforcement. D. At least 2 passengers in the vehicle. Answer, B. Only vehicles with a valid disabled placard or license plate may park in designated spaces. A no passing zone is indicated by A. A solid white line on your side. B. A sign that reads pass with caution. C. Broken yellow lines on both sides. D. A solid yellow line on your side. Answer, D. A solid yellow line on your side of the road indicates a no passing zone. When approaching an intersection with a stop sign, you must A. Slow down and proceed if no vehicles are visible. B. Yield only to vehicles approaching from your right. C. Come to a complete stop at the stop line. D. Stop only if another vehicle is already in the intersection. Answer, C. Drivers must come to a complete stop at the stop line or before entering the crosswalk or intersection. When you see a pedestrian carrying a white cane with a red tip, you must A. Stop completely and allow them to cross. B. Accelerate to avoid delaying the pedestrian. C. Honk to alert them of your presence. D. Pass them cautiously without stopping. Answer, A. A white cane with a red tip indicates the pedestrian is visually impaired, and drivers must yield to them. Double solid yellow lines on a 2-lane road indicate A. Passing is prohibited in both directions. B. Passing is allowed only during daylight hours. C. Passing is permitted for slower vehicles. D. Left turns are not allowed. Answer, A. Double solid yellow lines mean no passing is allowed in either direction. A green arrow on a traffic light indicates A. Proceed straight cautiously. B. Turn in the direction of the arrow after yielding. C. Stop and wait for the arrow to flash. D. Yield to all traffic and pedestrians before turning. Answer, B. A green arrow gives the right-of-way to drivers turning in the arrow's direction. In icy or snowy conditions, you should A. Use cruise control for better traction. B. Reduce speed and increase following distance. C. Drive at the posted speed limit if no ice is visible. D. Brake sharply to test traction. Answer, B. Slowing down and increasing following distance helps maintain control in icy conditions. When driving at night, you should A. Use high beams in all conditions. B. Use only parking lights in well-lit areas. C. Drive at the same speed as during the day. D. Dim your headlights for oncoming traffic. Answer, D. Drivers must dim their headlights when approaching or following other vehicles at night. A red arrow on a traffic light means A. Stop and wait until the arrow turns green. B. Yield to traffic before proceeding in the arrow's direction. C. Proceed with caution if no vehicles are present. D. Turn cautiously after stopping. Answer, A. A red arrow means turning in the direction of the arrow is prohibited until the arrow turns green. When driving in a roundabout, you must A. Stop inside the roundabout to yield to traffic. B. Enter without yielding to avoid delays. C. Signal before exiting the roundabout. D. Change lanes inside the roundabout to avoid other vehicles. Answer, C. Drivers should signal before exiting the roundabout and avoid lane changes inside it. The hand signal for a right turn involves A. Extending the left arm straight out. B. Extending the left arm upward. C. Extending the left arm downward. D. Waving the left arm back and forth. Answer, B. Extending the left arm upward indicates a right turn when signaling by hand. When entering a highway, you should A. Stop at the end of the ramp and wait for a gap. B. Accelerate to match the speed of traffic on the highway. C. Merge immediately regardless of traffic flow. D. Use your hazard lights to alert other drivers. Answer, B. Drivers must accelerate to match the flow of traffic when merging onto a highway. When parallel parking on a downhill slope, you should A. Turn the wheels away from the curb. B. Turn the wheels toward the curb. C. Leave the wheels straight. D. Do not use the parking brake. Answer, B. Turning the wheels toward the curb ensures the vehicle won't roll into traffic if the brakes fail. A steady yellow light at an intersection means A. Stop immediately, even if you are in the intersection. B. Proceed through the intersection as quickly as possible. C. Prepare to stop if it is safe to do so. D. Ignore the light if no vehicles are nearby. Answer, C. A steady yellow light warns drivers to prepare to stop before the intersection. The maximum distance you can park from a curb is A. 6 inches. B. 12 inches. C. 18 inches. D. 24 inches. Answer, C. Vehicles must be parked within 18 inches of the curb unless otherwise indicated. When driving in fog, you should A. Use high beams to see farther ahead. B. Drive at the posted speed limit. C. Use low beams and reduce your speed. D. Turn on hazard lights while driving. Answer, C. Low beams reduce glare and improve visibility in foggy conditions. When approaching a pedestrian in a crosswalk, you must A. Slow down but continue if the pedestrian is far from your lane. B. Stop and remain stopped until the pedestrian has crossed completely. C. Honk to alert the pedestrian of your presence. D. Accelerate to pass before the pedestrian enters your lane. Answer, B. Drivers must stop and remain stopped for pedestrians in crosswalks until they have fully crossed. A solid white line on the road indicates A. Lane changes are permitted. B. Traffic moves in opposite directions. C. Lane changes are discouraged but not prohibited. D. Traffic moves in the same direction and lane changes are not allowed. Answer, D. Solid white lines indicate that lane changes are not allowed and traffic flows in the same direction.